Hello everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. This is the last word for Newcastle 2, Tottenham 3.
Newcastle Fans TV.
Yes, myself, Sam and Lee were at the game today, and before we start talking about the game, it has to be said today, there was a really sombre atmosphere midway through the first half. Around about the 35th minute, a fan collapsed in the East Stand, and that's why there was a delay. We don't need to go into the details of it, but myself, Sam and Lee would like to pay our respects, and hopefully, fingers crossed, here's the men. If you can put in a comment, just a nice message for the fan, and hopefully everything is okay, and hopefully we'll get to see that fan at a Newcastle game very, very soon. And it is with a heavy heart we do move on and we talk about the game. Sam, Newcastle didn't really make any changes from the Wolves game apart from Callum Wilson. That was the big change, and it was great to see him back involved.
Yeah, Wilson and is obviously a huge bonus, and we saw that so early on. Striker's goal, easy as you like. Life was great. It was a fantastic preamble to the match here today. The atmosphere around the ground, as I said on the instant reaction, was absolutely superb. It was carnival almost round here. Wilson made a big difference. Fernandes was obviously the other one to be dropped along with Almiron. And then you look at the bench, and the problem with our squad is you knew which three substitutions Steve Bruce was going to make.
He did, but just before we go on to that goal in particularly, what a demonstration by War Flags, and I know you want to say something about that.
Yeah, go back, have a look if you haven't. Yeah, I'm sure you have seen it. There's a separate video just on the display. I'm literally right behind it, so apologies if you can't see the front of it, because my view I couldn't see what was happening. But yeah, great to see them back, and it's obviously Mike Ashley out the club, War Flags. Hopefully next we'll see some ambassador roles for some of our ex-players, but wonderful display, and I'm sure there'll be loads more to come. Just came in the nick of time from Cologne, I think it was, in Germany.
Yeah, it was fantastic, great stuff from War Flags. We'll give them a follow on Twitter for any updates in the future in regards to home games as well. Lee, I just want to continue with you because Sam briefly mentioned it in the review, the goal. It was fantastic build-up play from saint-maximin to Manquillo. Great cross, Wilson fires in, 1-0, perfect start.
Similar to West Ham, if you remember that goal. That's Callum Wilson sniffing around that 6-yard box. Obviously I haven't seen it back on the TV, but it looked very, very similar to that West Ham goal. Look, if you give him chances, he'll score. The only thing is with Wilson, you've got to get him fit, and more than likely he's going to have competition in January. But yeah, it's great to see him. And it was a great start. I'm thinking we had War Flags, 10 minutes, we're 1-0 up. I'm thinking this is great. It
was, and Spurs quickly grew into the game. They were getting a real foothold in midfield, and Ndombele was my pick. I thought he was superb for Tottenham today. He seemed to be in the mood today for Spurs, and he got the goal. Sam, fantastic finish, and Spurs were right back in it, and it was a real kick in the teeth really for us, because we thought, well, actually, how long can we keep it at 1-0?
It was, but you can't forget they're a bloody good side, Spurs. They've got some fantastic players. The goal sort of, as you say, they were growing into the game, so the goal wasn't a complete shock. Some sloppy defending again, defence and another striker is going to be huge in January. But it just beggars belief that these are exactly the same defenders as under Rafa, when we arguably had our strongest defensive performances of the modern era. And now these are the same guys, and they just look absolutely clueless at times. It just goes to show what a good coaching setup can do for a club.
Harry Kane hasn't scored all season, Lee, in the Premier League.
I said it on the socials, he's going to score against her.
And it didn't look like it straight away.
He always scores against her, but the thing is, I just want to touch him on that Ndombele one. You've got to get out quicker. For me, it's got far too much space. And then the second one, it went to VAR and it was given. We haven't seen it back yet. So, but VAR will probably say he is onside, and
in real time I thought he was on. I was quite pleasantly surprised when the flag went up, and then given a bit of stick to Kane because I was front row of the Gallagher. I mean, that didn't age well.
It didn't, and obviously at this point we were 2-1 down, and of course you would have seen why there was a delay, and we've mentioned it at the top of the last word as well. So again, just a big thanks to the fans around there, and of course
Probably saved a life.
Possibly, hopefully.
Well, 100% saved a life.
There was a defib who ran onto the pitch. It was one of Newcastle's coaches as well, or one of the medical staff. There was a lot of medical people around the area. Again, let's just hope that they've done enough, and again, our fingers are crossed, and we just hope that we get some positive news in the future. There was a delay, obviously, understandably, and the players came back on to finish the rest of the half. Sam, it was about 7 minutes or so, and it was a very sombre 7 minutes before half time, and Spurs managed to get a goal. It was good football, and Kane you probably would have seen Kane a lot in that first half, and he lays it on a plate to Son. A kick in the teeth, and Newcastle, it was more or less game over at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. All you wanted to do was just to see out these 7 minutes and just get to half time and regroup and go again, fresh, with some added impetus in the second half. Yeah, it was a real sucker punch, and again, these are quality players you're dealing with, and the defence was just not good enough. Yeah, it's just not frustrating's the wrong word. It's just it took a lot of energy out of the stadium, and understandably so, because everyone's
minds were elsewhere, weren't they?
Exactly, and rightly so. There's people in that stadium who have seen things that they don't want to be reminded of ever again today.
There would have been kids next to that incident as well.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, you know, we were all close by and relatively close by, so you just kind of, it just paled into insignificance. As I said on the reaction, I just wanted to go home, see my kids. To be honest, it just put things in perspective. But at the end of the day, these are professionals. Spurs did the professional job. They didn't take their foot off the gas. Obviously, the restart was from a Spurs corner anyway. So it takes a lot to switch back on. Yeah, I know he is.
He's free again.
Has got to be better, and we have to be better. I think Bruce and Agnew need to go. The kebab crew, they can. The sooner they go, the better. I mean, we're all surprised. Everyone was surprised he's still in charge.
Very much so. We'll touch about that maybe more in the second bit of the last word. But in the second half, Lee, no changes by Steve Bruce. You left it as long as he could. What a car engine that was! You can hear that in the background.
Ferrari.
Yeah, very nice. But again, Spurs were in complete control, and they were just one step ahead or two steps ahead of most of that second half, and it could have been more. They had a couple of half chances, but it was very much that you just knew Newcastle weren't going to get back into it. And John Joe Shelby comes on and gets 2 quick yellow cards, and he's out for the Palace game.
The first one, right? He's stupid because he just kicks out. It's in our final third.
But no one. But the thing is, it's just to slightly defend him. About 3 or 4 times, people weren't getting a tackle in. Yes, it's stupid. Yes, it's a needless yellow card. But at least he showed a bit of something.
I know, but the second one, I can get that. He's running back, and actually thought, wait a minute, he's won the ball there. That he has to make that challenge, whether he wins or not. The one where he kicks out, that's John Joe Shelby of old, and he's came on in the 60th minute, and then what was it? 28 minutes? Not in 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, he's off. And we're down to 10 men, and John Joe Shelby now misses the next game, which might have a new manager in. We're done. Stupid, man. Stupid.
It is. But again, for your point, Johnny, there was no one really putting themselves around in that passage of play. Isaac Hayden was obviously doing what Isaac Hayden does and throwing himself around. Joe Linton was putting himself about. We basically had 2 tactics today. 1, give it to Maxi and hope for the best. 2, lump it forward to Joe Linton and hope he can hold it up.
Oh, that frustrated me. Darlow every time.
That was it. If you couldn't do that, it was played back to Darlow.
And then when Fraser came on, Lascelles went long to Fraser. Like he's
4'8".
He's like 5'6", and Lascelles is pinging a long ball to him. It's ideas,
and
man.
He's in the centre.
Exactly. Ryan Fraser was centre midfield. John Joe Shelby got sent off. That just tells you everything about Newcastle United.
But the thing is, Johnny, there's Dwight Gale again. I texted both of you. Dwight Gale is sat there. He brings Wilson off. I understand he can't make full 90, but you've got a striker on the bench, and he brings on 2 fucking wingers.
That's our manager for you.
Hopefully not for much longer.
Newcastle did pull one back from an own goal from Eric Dyer, which just shows why Eric Dyer will not be a good defender for Spurs or England in the future. But Newcastle had that lifeline with 2 minutes to go, but Newcastle
down
were just down to 10 men. You're just running and chasing shadows, and the 4 minutes, I think they barely touched the ball. Yeah. Let's hopefully hear from the last time from Steve Bruce.
That's for other people to decide. If I was reading everything and seeing what we're seeing last week, I might not have been here today. But look, my job is to get a few results. And unfortunately this year, whether you're a Newcastle manager or whoever manager in the Premier League, you haven't won in 7 or 8, then you become under pressure. That's the right word. So it's part and parcel of dealing with being in the Premier League. It's the big league for big boys. And I'll crack on and carry on as best I can until I hear otherwise. Every football club needs clarity, and it needs from the top right the way through to everything that makes a football club the way it is. And with this, the new owners have been very respectful. I can't say enough of them, of the way they've gone about their business over the last week, 10 days. So, but Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. So we've still got what frailties as a team, and it's up to me to, in the near future anyway, to hopefully get better.
Well, lads, I've been sacked, so I'm off to get myself some kebabs and cheesy chips, and we'll see you at Sheffield Wednesday.
You've got to cheat the fucking positives, haven't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back, and Newcastle, it is another defeat. Lee, let's briefly touch upon the table. We're still in the bottom 3, and 3 points off Leeds in 17th. Every game is becoming a must-win just to get out of the bottom 3 now, because there is a little bit of a gap developing, and Steve Bruce is still manager of this football club. Do you think that the new owners now have heard from the terraces today that they need a change? We need a change as soon as possible.
Match vlog, have a look at that. You hear Bruce, you're getting sacked in the morning. That's the first time I've heard that chant.
It took a while though, didn't it? The crowd wanted to stay with the team for so long.
That's why, and then it turned, and then Bruce out heard a couple of times, and then you're getting sacked in the morning. That's from our own fan base. Amanda Staveley's there, Yasser El Rumayyan, if I said that right, the PIF. Oh yeah, they would have witnessed that. They would have witnessed Spurs dominating with 11 men when we had 11. They would have heard those crowd, the little chants, and he's probably wondering, Yasser, thinking, what's this all about? I'm sure he's been briefed on Newcastle United, Steve Bruce. They have to make the decision. I don't care, it's 8 million. That's peanuts to them. That's peanuts. Yes, you gotta have people in the comments. Oh, Steve Bruce has done this. Steve Bruce has done that. And Paul Scholes was backing him up the other day when we were doing the overlap, and he was backing him because he's his mate. People in the media. Oh, he's my mate. You give him a chance.
He'll have a vacancy soon. Let's see if he gets an interview.
But the funny thing is, though, right? Everyone was going about this 1,000th game, and I'll get Sam.
But he's got it now. He can fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we shouldn't be a Make-A-Wish Foundation. We shouldn't be a charity and go, we'll give War Steve a send off. Get me 1,000th game. We're a professional football club. We need to be getting points as soon as possible. If not, we're going to be the richest club in the Championship.
Look, it's a great achievement. He's had 50 years in the game as a player and a manager, pretty much, from when he started in youth academies. His time's passed.
As a manager, he's achieved now. You've got Hull and FA Cup, and the two sides or 3 sides that you got promoted were expected to be promoted.
Birmingham?
Yeah. Birmingham were massive back in the early 2000s onwards. In the Championship they were.
But we're talking about, no disrespect, Birmingham City, this is a different kettle of fish.
9 games, including Cup, we haven't got a win.
Yeah, well, the longer he stays, the more likely we are to go down. Simple as that.
I would agree.
We've got 28 games left, and Newcastle just need to make sure they finish either 17th or higher.
There's only Dubravka missing, that's it.
Dumb it, yeah.
And but dumb again this side regularly is.
Would Armour on have made a difference today? Probably not.
No, we've got any excuses.
But the only reason Joe Linton was on the pitch, because you could argue, why didn't Fraser play instead of Joe Linton? And that was because
Joe Linton, though.
No, I'm not defending Joe Linton. I'm having a go at the tactics. That's why he was playing, so they could just lump it forward to him. It was tame at best. It was clueless. A new manager would come in and go, why the hell have you been playing like this?
Hopefully that change is very, very soon, because Newcastle United need it desperately. Just before we finish off again, our thoughts go to the family of the person that did collapse in the first half, and again, all our thoughts are with the family, and we hope there's a speedy recovery, and hopefully they're on the mend. And again, Newcastle might have lost a football match, but a life might have been saved. What's more important? We'll see you all very soon.